Shift of focus in motivation theories. Now, over the years, we can perceive that there is a certain shift in motivation theories. The motivation theories that have been existing for quite some time have now been criticized as being too broad at times, too simplistic, ambiguous, that is, they are not very clear, and at times they are criticized also because they are too individualistic. This would mean that they are focusing on individuals too much. Because as a teacher in a classroom situation, I am bound to be concerned with the group of or the class as a whole rather than individual students. So I need to understand how or what can I do to help my class to be motivated enough to succeed in the second language learning. So in recent research, we find that there is an expansion of motivational theories beyond individuals, and they have actually been applied to an entire class or a group. So now researchers are interested in actually trying to find out that how can a teacher or how can a group be motivated or a class can be motivated. So this is at times, or one of the models working within this is also called process model of motivation. In process model of motivation, motivation is seen as a process in flux, that is, it keeps on changing. So there are times when the motivation will be more, and there will be times when the motivation is less. So this is in stark contrast with earlier models where we believe that motivation is static. So either a learner is motivated or is not motivated. Another important aspect of this process model of motivation is that this model is interested in the processes involved in motivating the class and the processes involved of interaction between teachers and learners that can sort of lead to more motivation on the part of the students. This model actually outlines major steps. What is it that the learners can actually do to motivate, the teachers can actually do to motivate their learners? And it suggests a number of things, a number of steps. But one very important aspect of this model is that the emphasis is placed on self-evaluation. The teachers must allow the learners to actually self-evaluate their own progress, to be able to see what is it that is affecting their learning, what are the challenges they are facing, and how can they possibly overcome it, keeping in view their own learning styles. Now, this is a very important step towards learner autonomy, because through the process model, the teacher is actually building in the skills that the learners would need when they would expand their second language learning. Now, in all this process model, it is critical to understand the dynamics that motivate small groups. So, what are the dynamics, or what is it that is done in the class? What are the interactions in the class that might sort of motivate small groups into learning of the second language? But not only this, this model also draws attention to the importance of intergroup dynamics, and I would say intra-group dynamics also. So when we are saying intergroup and intra-group dynamics, intergroup would mean how these dynamics between one group and the other group could affect the second language learning process or the motivation of learning the second language, and how these intra-group dynamics, that is, what happens within the group, might actually affect the motivation of those group members to learn the second language. So this is quite some change from the previous motivation theories.